right, folks, welcome to episode 10 of Unlocked Radio right here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. We're here to provide you with gaming news, gaming perspective, and gaming discussion. Be sure to like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/pages/unlockedradio. Also, follow us on Twitter at Unlocked Radio, one word. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/user/unlockedradio. In case you forgot any of that, simply check out our website to get all the info that we plug here at www.unlockedradio.com. Check out the other wonderful shows on MSC Radio Network at morningshowcentral.com. Watch our show live, and join the chat at morningshowcentral.com/watch. Download, listen to our show on your smartphone app by searching for TuneIn Radio. Download the app, then search for Morning Show Central, or call into the show toll-free at 888-668-0742. And one little bit quick advertising over here for Lakewood Computers at 14035 Madison Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44107. If you're in need of computer repairs or just want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For 5 years, they've been providing you with the huge assortment of computer equipment services at very competitive prices. They will purchase and sell pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner and cartridges. In addition to cost-effective computers and computing products, they provide service and repairs for HP LaserJet printers and a complete menu of personal as well as commercial computer repairs. With over 29 years of professional experience, they are confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at www.joeslakewoodcomputer.com. All right, that's all done.
Yeah. Obviously, tonight on Unlocked Radio, we are going to be covering a lot of stuff. Kickstarter opens to Canada on September 9th. Shadowrun returns. Berlin DLC comes in late October. And SimCity Zones for Mac on August 29th. Also, Splinter Cell Blacklist crosses out to local co-op on Wii U. A possible loss of user information occurs in a Crytek security breach. And we fill you in on the PlayStation Plus August freebies. Finally, we'll be talking about BioShock Infinite, Devil's Kiss, their Vigor replica coming out in a limited first run, Dishonored, the Brigmore Witches DLC bringing an end to Dowd's story with Gang Warfare, and how Battlefield 4's battle screen won't hit PS3 or Xbox 360. And then finally, we'll be talking about the perfect game. So, all right, let's get this thing unlocked here.
All right, I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that people keep telling me I need a haircut. Unfortunately, because of how long my hair is, I can't really see their point.
One of those charity things, Wigs for Rio.
I mean, we could do that. You want to borrow my hat?
I want to borrow the wig, the one you used at the con. We were talking about that, the Nathan Explosion wig. That'll give
so
me a
brutal.
nice full head of hair. That would be much.
Yeah, try lighting a cigarette with that on in the wind.
Yeah, I don't want to try any of that.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. All right, so let's get this started. All right, Canadian developers can finally fund their own indie projects beyond investors and Tim Horton-based Ponzi schemes. Yes, crowdfunding site Kickstarter becomes available in the region on September 9th. Woo! All right. So the platform will hold events on August 8th and 9th in Toronto, along with more in Montreal on the 12th and the 13th. I apologize. 12th and 13th. So you can imagine that most of the education will be polite affirmation that Canadians no longer need to set up American shell companies to use Kickstarter. Hey, that means,
sons of bitches.
Yeah, that means that they can build their own new projects legally.
Yeah, we've talked about Kickstarter a couple times on the show before, and it's a very nice platform for those of you who don't know. You basically get to put an idea that you have for something that you want to create. Ouya, one of the new consoles, a new console in the console war for $100. It's an Android-based video game console that was actually kickstarted. They put it up online. They had their ideas for what they wanted to do, and people can go and donate money to it. You no longer have to worry about investors. You can actually have the fans, if they like what they like, if they like what they see, they can just donate money to you, and you use that money. You have a certain cap of what you hit. You give them play by play what the updates are on the system and what you're doing in your project, and then you can use the power of your fans and just give something back to them because they donated to you. And there was actually something on here that we're going to be talking about later that's actually raised over $1 million doing this.
Mindless Self-Indulgence actually for their current tour that they're on. They actually had a Kickstarter page set up, and depending on how much you donated to their Kickstarter page, got you a little bonus package thing of stuff when they went on tour. So that was really cool. But Mr. Rio, I have a question. Why don't we get a Kickstarter going?
Well, they have certain criteria in there. You can't use it to start a business or like a radio station of any kind like this. We would be able to do it for a specific event, but what you have to have is
can we do it? Can we do a Kickstarter page as a to raise money for an event that we throw? So that we can use that as a fundraiser to get a new wall here.
Yeah,
I don't like this.
It's actually an idea that we have. We're gonna be putting up posters, gaming posters, fan art, everything else that's up here. We want you guys to actually send in some stuff. Anybody who's good at drawing or knows of any things, if you have gaming posters laying around, or if you work at a gaming store and you have stuff like that, anything you send in, we will put up on here, and this wall will eventually become your wall, and we'll have that as our nice little background.
Probably should have talked to Chris about that, because if we start getting a bunch of stuff, we're probably gonna need a bigger closet.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the idea we had was to have it on one big poster board that we can then roll up and keep to ourselves.
I really wanted the cardboard cutouts and stuff, and I don't know where we're gonna put those.
Well, I have no idea where we'll put those either. We'll have to figure that out. Pop-up books, we'll have it where you just fold it out, and there it goes.
I can laminate the giant cardboard cutouts, and I can just put them all on top of my car, but then I can't go through drive-thrus.
I mean, you could. You just get a nice little. You got to get people looking.
Yeah, people would
put
definitely
it in your passenger seat. They go, does he want any? Whoa, he's cardboard.
Why is there Link in that guy's car?
Because our car is sweet.
Moving on. Who doesn't ride around with Link?
Moving on. Shadowrun returns. Developer Harebrained Schemes is aiming to launch the game's Berlin DLC in late October. It also noted plans to localize the game for other regions, with Spanish, Italian, German, and French versions ready to play by early October. Shadowrun Returns recently received its first patch, though the developer is still fixing bugs and intends to update the game in the future. The iOS version of the Cyberpunk RPG has been delayed a few weeks, but Harebrained Schemes can't pin down an exact release date due to Apple's certification process. Because forget you, Steve Jobs. That's why you died.
Yeah, that was really, Apple.
That was really rude.
Even Steve Jobs got a PC in the end.
Actually, Shadowrun Returns is the one I was talking about. That was the game that was actually kickstarted and is now released for Steam. They raised $1.8 million as a Kickstarter project to basically make what used to be a pen and paper RPG and is now a pretty big thing. It seems kind of simple in itself. We'll actually be having a review up on the website later on to really go in depth with this game, but I actually like it a lot.
All right. Well, I mean, to each their own.
Well, yeah, you'll have to try it out. I tried it out. It looked pretty sweet. Moving on.
Problem, I don't have an Apple.
No, it works. It's for Steam. You can get it for your PC too.
All right, well then I guess I might play it. Anyways, the Mac version of SimCity. Why is everything based off Macs with you, Rio?
What is that? Mac is late to everything.
Wait. That's Mac is coming out with games, guys.
Yeah,
all right,
that's a pretty big thing.
So the Mac version of SimCity finally cuts the ribbon on August 29th. Electronic Arts also reiterated that the game is cross-platform, so Mac and PC players can build together. Yay, now you can play with other people, not just yourself, Mac users. Wait, you couldn't even play with that. Never mind. Anyways, and those who purchase the PC game on Origin can also download it again on Mac. Originally planned for June, the game's OS X debut will be delayed to work out quality issues. Despite a problematic launch, SimCity has gone on to sell over 2 million units.
Yeah, now for those of you probably all remember, SimCity came out. They had a huge thing where now you can build the cities together. You can look at other people's cities. You can do all sorts of interaction, everything. But they were the first people to do. You have to be online in order to play this game. You literally cannot play it offline, and they had a disastrous launch. The servers were overloaded. They didn't compensate for it, and then it went to absolute shit. But what they're saying is basically,
we're going to finally work out the bugs that we should have before we release the game.
Yeah, they still managed to sell over 2 million units just simply because SimCity fans are so loyal. That's all there is to it. Luckily for them. I mean, they're pushing their luck, but they're releasing it out on Mac now. It's cross-platform. They're correcting mistakes as they go along.
So you cross-platform.
You and I, hell, we've made plenty of mistakes in our lives, right?
What's a mistake?
All right. Well, I have, and I'm glad that people have given me a second chance.
I'm sorry. I did make one really big mistake. Rio, I'm sorry. We can no longer be friends.
Ah, damn it.
So let's look on the bar later, right?
It's all right. He wants alcohol.
Hey.
Everybody is friends with enough vodka.
We didn't drink vodka.
Well, we will.
We can.
All right. Moving right along. Splinter Cell Blacklist will not feature an offline co-op component. Holy wow, am I upset about this, by the way. Producer Illusion had confirmed the news with Nintendo Life, citing the pressure to ship the Wii U version alongside the other platforms as the reason behind the missing feature. One thing I've always liked about Splinter Cell is the ability to play co-op with side by side with somebody else. But it said, they said in order to ship at the same time as the other consoles, we unfortunately weren't able to delve into this feature, but we think Nintendo gamers will be really excited to get the game at the same time as other consoles, instead of going the Mac way where they get everything late.
I mean, honestly, it's definitely a good thing that they are, putting them out at the same time. However, without the offline component, you've literally lost me as a customer on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you can still play the game offline, but you can't play co-op offline. Like, you can't even link the two together if you're sitting next to someone.
That's why I stopped playing Halo, because in 3, I had to log on to my online account to save the game.
Yeah,
and at the time, I didn't even have an online account.
Yeah, I don't like all my information being online, which is actually something we're going to cover here in a minute. But like yesterday, Ubisoft Shanghai, they're the lead developer on the Wii U version, which looks like it'll offer some useful Wii Pad functionality when it launches later this month. But outside of the omission of the local co-op play, the Wii U version features are identical to its PC, Xbox 360, and PS3 brethren. So really, the only thing they have is that they're want to launch at the same time, and they're going to be, Wii fans will be excited about that, but you're robbing them of that co-op play, because what Splinter Cell has usually done is they'll make a separate storyline, usually like a backstory or something off to the side, where you have two separate Splinter Cells, not just Sam Fisher that you use as a co-op. So it's its own individual thing, which I've always liked. Yeah,
and I mean, like that works as a great system. And I'm glad I don't have a Wii U, because I'd be probably pretty pissed off about that one. But hey,
right.
I run 360. My woman runs PS3. It works out.
All right, moving along.
All right,
we go to what actually has something to do with this, and I'll complain about it in a minute.
All right, so Crytek took down 4 of its websites due to suspicious activity. Can I get a replay on that? Suspicious activity.
Quote marks all over the air.
So many quote marks. Over the weekend, according to the statement by Crytek, there was a security breach that may have resulted in some users' login data being compromised.
Yeah, see, that's the part that I don't like logging in.
Well, here's my thing. May have.
But later on, the article obviously talks about that.
As we continue, you'll see why I did that. Although it is uncertain whether the incident led to the copying and encryption of email addresses and passwords, it is possible that users with these accounts at these websites have had personal data copied, Crytek said. On Friday afternoon, we started to contact all affected users via email and inform them of the potential security breach. Now, if your information may have been compromised, why are they notifying you?
Well, I guess they got to be upfront and honest about it, which I can.
All right,
I can level with that.
I mean, hey, if my information was possibly stolen, I'd prefer to know about it as soon as possible. That's whether or not it was, because that way I can shut down everything. Right. Anyway, so the 4 sites in question are Crytek.com, MyCryEngine.com, CryDev.net, and MyCrysis.com. I think they like to cry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously the makers of Crysis had this too, and they're a pretty big, they're a pretty big company.
Obviously, they're crying about the security breach. So, anyways, so all these websites are still offline. Crytek said that the final details on the sites will be back online and will be communicated with the public as soon as possible. Additionally, no payment information from any of the users was stored at all on any of the sites in question.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is like, well, you don't know.
So it's not PlayStation Network, right? Got it.
Right. The fact that's a security breach, and that enough is going to make me feel a little bit uneasy, especially with games like with SimCity, what we were talking about, and things where you have to be online in order to save your game, in order to have the functionalities of everything. The people forcing me to play my games online makes me more uncomfortable when something like this happens.
And it's become far more common than it used to be. It's getting to be ridiculous.
Right. Anybody can just hack in there and then just get any information that they want because it's all readily available. It's digital.
Except for you, because you have a Mac.
Well, yeah, I have. Son of a bitchin' wife. Now, it's the girlfriend's Mac. Unfortunately, my computer's a bit too shitty for me to use for the things that I want, which is why we need to go to those Lakewood Computers, and I need to get myself something better.
Yeah.
But
when people actually start, caring and sponsoring us and giving us money, maybe Rio can get, a decent computer.
I'll kickstart for my own computer.
There we go. All right. We're going to kickstart to make a fundraiser event. Then once we get the money raised up to make the fundraiser event, we'll have the fundraiser event so we can raise money to get Rio a new laptop.
Yeah, which I will use to make better videos, more things. Will make the show even
we can
better
change
looking.
the intro music.
Special effects. I'll make more music for the show. Actually,
Also,
technically, I am giving something back to the fans, so that is legit for a Kickstarter.
And if there's any spillover, maybe we can get more lights. I like lights.
We'll get more lights, more flashy things.
I like the flashy lights.
Get some crazy special text to come over our faces. We can impose someone else's face on me.
I can get a haircut.
I can get John Lithgow on my nipples.
All right, that's too far.
Okay. But you had smileys on yours.
Hey, my nipples are sexy.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's certain things like that breach in security has always bothered me. It's like I don't mind being able to go online and do things, and I like to have that feature, but being forced to do it makes me feel uneasy because now you have so many things, like so much personal information you need to put in. I want to play Halo Online. Well, in order to do that, you're going to have to give your first and last name, your address, your phone number, your email address, and sign your credit card
even
information.
playing all off the even playing offline on Halo 3, it makes you log into your online account to save.
Yeah,
I have to be online to play offline?
Right.
Fuck that. Anyways.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that bother me, and it's just they go further and further with everything. Is just like a little bit more, and especially with like the way the country.
I'm paranoid.
Yeah, the way our country is now with all sorts of things, with all sorts of security breaches over the internet, all over the place, and like our rights being taken away further and further and further. And I don't want to get too political here, but the more that happens, the more uncomfortable I get. I just want to be able to. I'm paying. What, $500 for a system and then $60 a game? Can I just do what I want with it?
Yeah.
It's my money that I worked
Hey, put your credit card information here. We're never going to charge you anything, but we want your credit card information. For what?
Yeah, to keep track of every little thing that I'm doing, or to make it so like, oh, hey, we're going to shoehorn little by little. Like eventually you're going to pay $60 for a disc that gives you a base game and a menu, and every other thing you'll have to buy in order to play it. Like that's like the direction that it seems to be going.
You get the 8-bit version for $60, and then you have to download the other 2 dimensions.
Yeah, it's like you'll get like Halo 5 will have like you'll just have the menu and you'll be able to start and move around, but you have to buy each level individually to progress through the story. Or
buy the levels,
maps.
Buy the enemies.
Yeah.
Wait. You can't have people buy enemies because then they can just walk through the game.
Yeah, they're just gonna walk through here but then you'll have to make them. Yeah, they'll make separate missions and things like that. It's just like. I want all of it, all my content, and I'd rather pay one big lump sum than have these microtransactions.
Yeah, these microtransactions are making me really want to go over to the exchange or something and just buy all their Sega games and just put my Genesis back in.
That's the kind of thing that it does for me. Moving along, the August incentives for PlayStation Plus subscribers have been revealed, by the way, starting tomorrow with the free copy of Hitman Absolution. IO Interactive's latest entry in the stealthy kill-em-up series deviates from the established formula, but it offers a healthy dose of stealth and creative assassinations. And so that's all. Obviously, I've known a lot of people that have played that game. A lot of people thought really highly of that game. Having a Hitman game basically thrown in for free going on the PlayStation Plus is a pretty good incentive.
Am I stealthy yet? I think I need to wear a different colored shirt.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, bright yellow shirt isn't very stealthy, even if you have piano wire.
Although apparently on the camera it looks like piss colored, but
yeah, that's kind of weird, but that's all right.
Yeah, it's actually a highlighter yellow.
My head looks like a red M&M, so I don't even think it just. Oh Jesus! All right, now I just look like a ghetto M&M.
Now you look like the white M&M. Okay.
Yeah. I just look like Marshall Mathers now. Sorry about that. All right. Other free
Please
games up
sue
for
us.
grabs. Other games up for grabs in August are PS3 games Runner 2, Star Wars Pinball, Machinarium on PS Vita, and Darkstalkers Chronicle: The Chaos Tower, all compatible with PS Vita and PSP. Tomorrow's PSN update will also yield discounts on Rayman content and a few new games, all of which you can see listed over on the PlayStation blog. So they're going with this thing like, obviously everyone's always like, oh, PlayStation, it's free to play online. It's like, well, at first I was thinking when the PlayStation Plus came out, I was like, well, you have to pay for that. But they're giving you all sorts of added incentive, which again is making me lean towards PlayStation because it's going to lean over to PS4.
Yeah, those extra, bonuses they give you are like even little tiny details, just free things, definitely help. And apparently Chris found a hat for Rio.
Oh, Jesus. That's the last thing. You can have that back in.
Right.
I am.
It doesn't quite fit over my headphones.
All
but,
right, frick it.
close enough for now. But yeah, anyone else a little bit more excited about that pin?
I'm wearing this wrong.
Yeah,
that's better.
There we go. All right, so yeah, the now he's got my thing going on. But yeah, so the Star Wars pinball seems to be the most appealing to me on that. But obviously they're going to come out with better things. Now, if they come out with Crash Bandicoot, I'm literally going to take my 360 and all my games and walk down to the store and see what I get. Or I'll just put it up on Unlock Radio's site and see who wants to buy it. I have a very extensive game collection, obviously, as well as a couple of controllers. Like all of them.
I'm trying to think. There was something like that, and not GameFly itself, where you could just pay a monthly fee and you have games sent to you.
Yeah.
But there used to be one that you had online, and you got to play all the classic Sega games and everything else. You just paid a subscription fee, and you were able to play all those games there.
It was a subscription emulator.
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of it was, but yeah, I actually had one for a while because I was playing all the Game Boy and original Nintendo games.
Rastafari hair in my tongue. All right, sorry.
I mean, I think it would probably be a little easier if you just turned the hat around.
I don't. All right, so I'll turn.
Also, you might want to take your headphones off. All right, whatever. Apparently, Rio is really great at following directions. Never teach this guy how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
No, don't do it. I'll make a grilled PB&J and it'll be a huge mess. Or
it will also be made with bananas and pickles instead of peanut butter and jelly.
Actually, Derek Vogan, our previous guest, actually made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I just punched the crap out of it. He was real mad about it. The sandwich games you won't get into.
All right. But yeah, so I definitely like these added incentives. I have no idea why we keep getting distracted. But yeah, these added incentives are definitely pushing myself and obviously Rio as well towards the PlayStation area. Xbox, what do you got?
Yeah, well, they had a lot of games that I was looking forward to at E3 and everything else, but
they also had when they first came out with 360, they had like free downloads, and they had like dirt cheap downloads. What happened to those?
They said,
bring them back.
Yeah, they pretty much told their indie developers to fuck off inadvertently, which kind of sucks. Like the indie platform was really good on 360. It was the best on 360 for a long time.
Also,
and then they just put it on the back burner.
PlayStation probably picked those guys up. But I'm just wondering, can I maybe get a second level of Scott Pilgrim for free? I'm tired of playing the first one over and over.
Yeah, over and over and over again.
I mean, the game's not good enough for me to pay $6 for, but it's good enough for me to play.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people
99 cents, $2 maybe, $2. We'll call it $2, $2.50, and I will buy the game.
See, like I don't know. I see the way it works. Like with the subscription thing, I would be willing to pay literally $1,000 for a new console if it meant that I wouldn't have to buy games. Yeah. If they just gave them to you, you use them as is, and like, all right, you can pay for this. You just pay for the thing, pay for online, the subscription, and then just pay your games that way. And because they want to lean towards like downloadable games anyway and get rid of discs altogether. There's benefit in this. There's good in here.
I mean, I'm already trying to.
If they do it right.
I'm already having a hard time losing weight, getting off my couch, stopping playing video games, go to the store to get a game. You make it downloadable right there and just eliminate the store. You have literally just caused me to gain more weight.
No, I just like.
But I like the idea.
I like the idea of that. What I don't like is the fact, like, okay, if it's all downloaded on my, I cannot tell you how many games I've downloaded that I no longer have because they were on a hard drive that got stolen. Or
crash.
Or crash or something else. And then like going through and you can go and re-download your profile and re-download those games, but that's a tremendous hassle if you can find the rights to them and find the right profile that you had them on. Yeah. Versus having the discs on my person. I don't have to like, oh, this game isn't playable with this profile. I got to sign out of this one, sign into one of the other 6, find out where it's at.
I have one profile.
Yeah.
Well, I take it back. I have 2. I have my regular one, and then I have my online one. Then I think my sister made one when her and I were both playing Rock Band, and then I told her if she touches my system again, I'm going to kill her.
Yeah.
Since then, no one else has really touched my 360.
But you have to think, what about when you want to let somebody borrow a game, or when you want to borrow a game from somebody else? You don't want to just let them borrow your entire hard drive.
PlayStation has a solution to that. The PlayStation Network, you actually have the, if you download the game, you have the you can share with up to one person thing,
right?
Which is really cool because like, hey, you can share it with them, and then they can share games with you. But you can only share it with one person. But hey, you know what? That's 2 people getting the same game for one price.
You can always take them off, and eventually, I don't know, maybe you can share it with somebody else later.
I'm not entirely positive on how that works. I don't actually have a PlayStation, but if anyone knows, go ahead and feel free to call and let me know because I'm actually kind of curious on that.
Yeah, we want a little more information on like exactly because I want to find. I am leaning towards a PS4. I won't lie. I still think that I'm probably going to end up having to get both just because I want the best of both worlds, and I'm still like I've had the 360 for so long, and I've been away from the PS3 for so long. It feels like buying a whole new system. I think honestly, the reason I never went over to PS3 was simply because I didn't want to pay $500 for a whole new system.
I just don't like the controller
and all the games that I would need. I don't like the controller either. I actually hate having the joysticks in the middle and I have to reach for them. That part bothers me.
I mean, granted, they're not as like ridiculous. Like they actually make sense. Like, and they're aesthetically pleasing.
Aesthetically pleasing, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Unlike the GameCube controller, but the GameCube controller was comfortable to hold. The buttons were easily accessible. It made sense. The Xbox and the 360 controllers are similar to that in the way they're set up. I like how those work.
Yeah.
PlayStation, I don't like how it's angled, and then I can't get used to which way's like actually up. Like I push directly away from me, that should be straight up, right? No, that's apparently up and away. I can't get used to that without cramping my thumbs, and I'm sorry, they already crack a lot. But anyways, I guess we could move on to the next point.
Yeah, because actually it's a good thing to move on to the next point because I was thinking of things that are just like ridiculous wastes of money.
Yeah,
which is why I want to lead on to the next one that we have in line.
All right. So for Irrational Games and Company stores, new limited run Vigor replicas. The devil is in the details. 5 huddled, numbered first edition units of the replica bottles are now available for sale, with each 9-inch tall bottle priced at a steam $350.
Yeah, $350
for
a BioShock Infinite replica.
In-game replica aficionados can nab one of the 50 limited bottles signed by Irrational Games creator Kevin Levine for the red-hot price of $600.
Jeez.
You got that kind of money to buy a replica?
To buy a bottle from a game.
I'm sorry, I would rather go buy a new system, make 2 car payments, some rent, go out to eat.
Yeah,
go on vacation for that.
I think after I would spend $600 on something like that, I would then spend another $100 drinking my regret away.
Only another 100?
At least.
If I spend $600 on a bottle...
Well, we go to Smedley's and we get good deals there.
Oh, yeah. So that's the equivalent of like $500 anywhere else because Smedley's Bar and Grill is the shit. All right. Anyways, so for an unknown amount of medical bills, your local hospital will treat any burn sustained while attempting to recreate your favorite moments with BioShock Infinite's fire-based ability. Editor's note, do not light anything on fire, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I had to throw that on there because, like, look, what are you doing with just a replica? It doesn't do anything from the game. It just sits there and looks cool. You could have a picture of that.
Also, I sell replicas of my hat.
Yeah.
For $50 a piece. If you guys want to, get a limited edition chip hat, I might even sign it for you.
I'm thinking of it like in terms of like think about people who pay $800 for a cosplay costume that they're gonna wear once to one con. They're just gonna wear it over the weekend.
I spent $12 on mine.
Right. Where there's the people that really get the fun out of it that go all the time, especially even the more famous cosplayers, like one that we'll be having on the show here in a few weeks. Freddie Nova, and that's gonna they make their own.
Yeah,
they spend maybe $100 to make what most people would pay $900 for.
Yeah, I would rather make it because first off, you can make it as accurate as you want. You can make it as fitting as you want. It makes more sense. And honestly, you can go out and you can actually buy the craft supplies from a pack of Tans or Joann Fabric or whatever, and you can make these replicas.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, you could probably just find a block of wood, and we can probably get somebody who's really good at whittling, pay them $10 an hour, and still come up with a cheaper price point.
I'm just saying,
1/6 of the price.
You can give me $100 and I can make you like 50 different types of these replica bottles and make them look almost identical to the ones they're selling for $350 to $600. And that's $100 to me, and I'll make you 50 of them. But then again, they are limited edition.
Yeah, however, they're getting signed by the guy, but is it really still $600 versus $350? That's an extra $150 to get it signed.
All right, well, we're about to head on to break, so...
when we get back, Dishonored, we're going to be talking Dishonored and their DLC. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 4 Battle Screen, which is a really awesome feature. And then we're going to be talking... Chip and I are going to be discussing what makes up the perfect game.
And I actually want to take a go back to this after we get back for a brief second.
Yeah, just a brief second. But right now you're watching Unlocked Radio. We'll see you back in 10.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
I know. Oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious, I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town, look no further. Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you. Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more.
I can almost taste it.
Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/burrito crazy. And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal. It's all good at Hanini Subs.
So damn good.
Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. The following message is for those with a credit score of 800 and below. Who wouldn't want better credit? Did you ever wonder how different life would be from just having a higher credit score? Are you tired of being turned down for any kind of loan or only offered high interest rates because your credit score is holding you prisoner? Life doesn't have to be that way anymore with access to Turnscor. By increasing your credit score only 50 to 100 points, it can potentially save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest over just a 5 to 10 year period. It can be the difference in getting approved for a personal loan, business loan, high limits on credit cards, a brand new car lease, or even a home mortgage. We see so many ads from companies that give us our credit score, but once we get our credit score, what are they going to do to actually repair your credit? Unfortunately, nothing. Until now, Turnscor is the first automated credit repair platform that is simple, safe, and secure. You'll be empowered right from the comfort of your own computer so you can challenge and repair your credit report to ensure it's fair and accurate. Turnscor is specifically developed with you in mind. There's no more need for an attorney, credit repair companies, or credit counseling. More importantly, no more need for paying higher fees. Turnscor will help you get back on track and get the buying power you need. So whether you have bad credit, average credit, or even good credit, Turnscor is helping turn lives around one credit score at a time. Go to turnscore.com and enter the promo code MSC20 and get $20 off your purchase. That's TURNSCOR.com. TURNSCOR.com. Turnscore.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location? I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store. Now, how cool is that? You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans. And he's local. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377. That's 216-622-0377. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. Pete 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies. Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningshowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com. With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and store monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
This
All right, we're
music
back.
is so damn epic for us.
Dum, dum, da, dum. All right,
Right.
we're back. So, do
Yeah.
the back plugins thing.
Well, yeah, Unlocked Radio, obviously. You're looking right down there. Morning Show Central, MSC Radio Network, morningshowcentral.com/watch if you ever want to watch our show live and chat with us if you're listening on on your radio app right now. If you're watching us live and not on the radio app, you can download that if you're on the go and listening in your car on your way to work, your commute, whatever else, by searching the TuneIn Radio app. And then once you download that, search Morning Show Central on there and you'll get us. Obviously, Unlocked Radio for our Facebook page, our Twitter, our YouTube, all that, unlockedradio.com to get absolutely everything. Right now, we're going to be talking Dishonored, the Brigmore Witches DLC, bringing an end to Dod's story with gang warfare, how Battlefield 4's battle screen won't hit PS3 or 360, and we're going to be discussing the perfect game at the end of all this. So let's get right into this. You said you had one more thing to add when we were talking about the replicas and everything else.
But before I get back to that, 9 out of 10 forest fires are started by humans. Put your fires out, people. And also hide your matches because as Von Erich and I were talking about during our Circle Jerk orgy. Well, during our Circle Jerk orgy, we were discussing the little ad about wildfires, and there's a lot of stuff you got to do to make sure that fire's out. But if 9 out of 10 forest fires are started by people, the other 10, like the other one, that is started by a bear getting a hold of and playing with the matches that you left out.
How do you think? Yeah, you think you can operate matches with those freaking claws?
Not
properly.
Smokey the Bear smokes. How do you think he got his name? I'm guessing he has a bic, actually.
Yeah.
But that's one specific bear. Yogi steals picnic baskets. Smokey will steal your marijuana.
Yeah, the whole Smokey the Bear thing, talking about preventing forest fires, that's actually his community service because he fucked up.
Yeah, he got busted selling a quarter pound. But anyways, so yeah, back to those the overpriced replica. They made 50 of them.
50 that you get signed, yeah.
Yeah, 50
for
signed.
$600 versus the one for $350.
All right, well, either way, like limited quantities or whatever. They made special Xbox and PS3 controllers for Tron Legacy. They made the Clue ones and they made the Kevin Flynn ones. And you know what the funny thing is? Those were still selling for the same price as a regular controller. And those were limited edition collector's pieces. And you know what the worst part is? I want one to play with.
Yeah.
I don't want it, as a collector's item. I want to play with it.
Yeah, someone sees it like, oh, what are you playing over here on 360? Whoa, what is that controller? That looks awesome. Like, you're damn right it does.
Yeah.
That's worth
Fuck
paying.
you, try to get one.
I would still pay maybe like, $30 extra than the normal controller. Like
Yeah.
a controller for $30 versus that for
well,
$60.
The day after they sold, well, it was $50 for them.
Okay,
Plus,
right.
$4.50 shipping and handling or whatever. And I was like, all right, that is reasonable. Unfortunately, I didn't have the funds at the time, so I couldn't get one. But the day after they were sold out, I got paid.
Right.
The day after they were sold out, the only place you could find them was on eBay, and the cheapest one was $600. And I'm like, not worth it anymore.
Yeah, see, that's it. When you're collecting, I understand people try to trade and sell those things for a little bit more, but buying them outright for $350 is ridiculous. You're just trying to capitalize on that market before the market's even really created.
Exactly. And that causes an issue. I'm sorry. There are actually people online you can go to that will make you replicas of pretty much anything. There was a guy I met on MySpace back in the day. He was selling replicas of the Digimon crests and tags, the entire complete set for, I think, $120. And I'm sorry, there was 8 of them, and then he even threw in a custom one with, like, your Zodiac sign or whatever, like, and your name on the back. That was, I
Just
thought
to
that
make
was,
a few bucks, not a
yeah.
ton.
That was awesome because it's like, okay, he even admitted, like, all right, these cost me like $40 to make. I'm selling them to you for 120, 100, 120, but it's a full set, and I'm covering shipping
Money
anywhere in the
hungry
world.
sons of bitches.
And I'm like, hey, anywhere in the world, that sounds cool. He also made Dragon Balls, like the entire set of them, with a special like case that he hand carved.
Which are great for scavenger hunts.
Yes.
I want to do a
I'm
Dragon
sorry,
Ball
Easter
scavenger
egg hunt, but with Dragon Balls.
That would be, it would be pretty.
I'm
sweet.
doing
You
that
can do
next
it
year.
all over the entire, just all over the Cuyahoga County. That is the limit, and then just hide the 7 somewhere and have a big scavenger hunt. Like we'll throw it up on our, we can do that and throw it up on our Facebook and our Twitter and just like
And to make it more
give a clue every now and again.
To make it more interesting, I think I'm thinking about like beer bottles and just like paint a tennis ball and put it over top of the beer bottle.
Yes, and your wish will be granted if you find all 7 of them, so long as your wish is to be on the show.
Yep.
And have pictures taken.
I feel like we should do a
win
smaller
little
area
things.
than the county because it's a pretty big county.
It is a pretty big county, but that'll make it take a while.
We could do that, I guess. But
Just give out one clue a day.
What if some
for
random
30 days?
What if some random person just kind of like finds one and just keeps it and doesn't know who the hell we are? We need to put tags on them so we can keep track of them, and then with all of our information, so someone finds them, they can watch our show.
And we have the little scouter, like, bloop, 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 find them, everything. This could actually work out really well. Viewers, I want you guys to hold us to this. Remind us on our Facebook and everything else, and we will try to actually make this happen.
We're gonna
if we can.
we're gonna try to make this an Easter egg hunt. So I
Hopefully
don't even
by
know
next Easter.
I don't even know when Easter is.
I don't know. What do you Christians do?
November, January.
Oh, it was like February. I thought it was like at the beginning of the year.
I don't remember. You know what? Let's make this like a 4th of July egg hunt.
Oh, jeez.
No,
Oh, as if we could get a big firework that looks like a dragon, that would be sweet. That would be a nice finale.
I can do this.
That would be a nice finale, too.
I'm pretty good with fireworks, from what I've been told.
All right, let's move
except for that one. There was one time where things went bad.
Let's try to move along here. We're gonna go. A thing I want to talk about. Arcane Studios is wrapping up downloadable content plans for its stealth action thriller Dishonored, which is a great game, by the way. They're doing an upcoming release of the Brigmore Witches, a narrative-rich expansion that follows up on April's DLC, The Knife of Dunwall. Despite being a direct continuation of the previous DLC storyline, the Brigmore Witches forges its own identity, introducing a new set of features to Dishonored's final chapter. In the final chapter, players will once again take on the role of Dowd, a leader of the Whalers responsible for the assassination of Empress Jessamine. The Brigmore Witches begins with Dishonored's iconic showdown between Dowd and Corvo, only this time players are in direct control of Dowd's fate. The outcome may play out differently from how players saw the confrontation through Corvo's viewpoint. So the story is going to be kind of interesting here.
Yeah.
This is the reason I'm kind of explaining it out, is because this just itself as like just a summary.
Basically,
is a really good,
it's a new game.
using the same engine, kind of.
Well, for the same price as DLC.
which is kind of sweet. It's a little bit shorter, but of course, it's still good if you ever played I Am Alive.
Yeah.
The same kind of concept. The Brigmore Witches returns players to Coldridge Prison, where Dowd needs to mastermind a breakout in order to further his quest for revenge. There are a variety of options players have to infiltrate Coldridge as an outsider, as opposed to the captive role Corvo played in Dishonored's main storyline. The stealth route involves sneaking in through the sewer, discovering your quarry's location, and releasing their lock remotely using gathered intel. And at the mission's outset, players are also given the option of disguising Dowd as a visiting overseer, which grants access to the prison's less secure entrance areas. So already there's multiple options. Then you can wander into a restricted area, however, and a battalion of armed guards will surround Dowd, forcing players to use his teleportation-like blink abilities to scale the multi-story fortress in order to escape. And players can also opt to free other prisoners in order to create diversions, as rescuing your target soon proves more difficult than expected. So there's a bunch of different ways you can go, which means it has replay value on top of that for being such cheap DLC. This is the kind of things that games need to do more often. Making value. Replay value is one of the biggest things, besides just, oh, hey, load up another map, shoot more people, load up another map, shoot more people.
Hey, I know a lot of people that are still playing Knights of the Old Republic, and for good reason. It has incredible replay value.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to this. I really am. Continue.
Well, that's all I have for mine. I actually want to go on to the article you have about the battle screen, because that's one of my favorite little features. By
the way, I still have a Battlefield 4 poster to give away. So someone call in and tell me you want it.
Yeah, this is about the time to do it, since we're talking about Battlefield 4.
All right. So I want a phone call by the time I finish this article.
Actually, yeah. First phone call. Let's say third phone call we get.
Let's go with third phone call.
Yeah. Just bring up something else, something new. Call us in with something new coming out or something that you're looking forward to, and your voice will be heard on the show. Third caller will get the Battlefield 4 poster
or the best Jew joke.
The best Jew joke. I could deal with that. I'm willing.
Personal insult to Rio.
Personal insult to me. For those of you who didn't remember, it's 888-668-0742 to call in. 888-668-0742.
So third caller, I want either something you're looking forward to or a good Jew joke.
Or embarrass us and just don't call at all, and we'll just sit here with our thumbs up our asses.
Hey, you can keep your thumbs up your asses. I'm sticking my thumbs up your asses. Anyways, battle screen will not be accessible on PS3 or Xbox 360 versions of Battlefield 4. The Battle Log assistant producer Jesper Nielsen tells Engadget, Battle Log for Battlefield 4 includes a battle screen feature that populates the player's current live map on a tablet, smartphone, or PC, but only when playing the game on Xbox One, PS4, or PC. Not MacBook. For three or four more years.
Right.
Battle Log is powered by the web and has a lot of implications, Nielsen says. There are a lot of different things you can do faster rather than building stuff in native code. Battle Log for Battlefield 4 will feature regional leaderboards that will allow players to build weapon loadouts on a secondary screen before starting a game or during wait time between deaths. That means you're going to die a lot. And will let players change servers mid-game alongside the standard stat readings.
If you haven't seen this feature is one of the coolest things that I've seen as far as like the novelty of being able to use your smartphone as like a remote for your TV or a random little thing. It has a dedicated app, and you can just pull it right there. If you die while you're in the middle of a game or watching, spectator mode, dying, whatever, you can just go and like, all right, here's my weapons. Everything that would be a menu on the game is now accessible on your smartphone or on your tablet or on your PC. You can literally have like a monitor, let's say here, and you're playing this is your computer monitor, and then in front of you have your console, and you're playing on your TV. You can look right over here. There's your mini map. You don't have to tab out to see it or anything else. It's all right there. Your smartphone has your ability to change weapons to whatever else. If you're hanging out at the coffee shop or whatever, and you're talking to somebody about the game, like, well, what weapon setup do you use? And they tell you, and you're like, oh, that's really good. I got to remember that. Instead of remembering it, you just go right there, make that your next weapon setup, and when you go home, it's right there ready loaded when you start.
Yep.
Which is really sweet. You can talk to somebody on the phone. You're like, I'm going to be on this server. Like, hold on, I'll be right there.
This is obviously the easiest way to encourage the sale of phone chargers.
That's very true.
Because everyone's going to be taking them everywhere, leaving them everywhere. People are going to be getting free phone chargers. Like, I'm going to end up with like 50 chargers because I don't lose mine, but I find them everywhere. And then there's going to be a lot of people buying them. I recommend checking out gas stations. They usually have them for like $10.
Yeah. I also like the fact that it keeps people from lying about what their stats are. You can just be like, well, show me. Right there. I'm showing you my stats. Here they are. You can see it right on the game.
Let me just log into yours, and you're a fucking liar.
Right. It was really much like, yeah, your KDR is nowhere near as good as you said. Those are kind of things that I can dig with. I watch videos and I see like somebody had a tablet set up on their coffee table while they're playing the game, and it shows the map, and you can see the icons of your teammates moving around on the map, so you can actually see it. Look right there. You have your little mini map, and then you have main map, and you can see all of it. And
who needs to have a dual monitor PC when you can use your smartphone?
Well, so that's one option of it. But even
Ooh, buy a stand for your phone.
when you have you can have a dual monitor PC, but when you're playing a video game like that, it usually just goes on the one screen.
Yeah.
This is basically a feature that allows you to use that other monitor.
Oh yeah, you can just click your mini map, drag it over to the other screen, and that way it's over on that side.
Yeah, if the game allows you to do that. Most
Pop
Battlefields
up
usually
your
don't.
weapon side on a third screen. Pop up chat on a fourth screen. Win the lottery to be able to afford this.
Yeah. So there's certain things that I like about that. The fact that it's not going to be out for the older ones, PS3 and Xbox 360, kind of sucks because I don't know when I'll be able to afford the PS4. But when I can understand how that, since it's an older system that you don't want to have to worry about and spend all the time writing the code to make it work for something
For an outdated thing, yeah.
for something native. I get that.
Yeah.
Moving on, this is a bigger topic that we want to discuss. Earlier this
My
month,
personal favorite of the ones.
yeah, earlier this month, a friend on Twitter asked his followers to name a perfect game. The resulting conversation was fascinating. As just hordes of players listed games while also admitting that each had flaws or that the plot wasn't strong enough to be considered perfect. Some refused the notion that a perfect game could ever exist or argue that it should exist because perfection is unattainable. So this begs the question, what is your idea of a perfect game?
Connect 4.
Something where if you make
Digital
the right
Connect
like
4.
tic-tac-toe, you make the right first move and the game is over. The game is already decided.
But if the partner or if your opponent is smart, they can counter it. Aha. By the way, Battlefield 4 poster, call in.
He really wants you to call in.
I'm
And
sorry,
I do,
I'm
'cause
getting
it makes
yelled
us
at
look
because
like
I need to clear out
jackasses.
that closet. So
Yeah.
I'm not giving away anything else until we get rid of that poster.
Yeah, I mean it's real easy. Just call in, tell us what. This is a perfect time. What is your idea of a perfect game? I want
Not Battlefield 4.
not Battlefield. Not Battlefield 4.
Obviously.
Looking at it and seeing all the stuff you can do is pretty sweet. But it's like when you think about like what's your idea, you obviously have your maybe 4 or 5 of your top games are pretty different.
Yeah.
But they all have something that offers that you kind of wish that would make into one giant game.
Well, see, there are a lot of features that I really like. For example, the combat and mechanic of Force Unleashed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved the way that combat sequence went. I love the way the powers went. You could level them. You upgraded your moves. Wonderful, wonderful thing. Storyline, possibly somewhere along the lines of maybe. I really want to say Darksiders because I really like that storyline. However, it did seem kind of buggy, and I feel like combining. I don't know. Like we need a better storyline than that. But the concept was good. So we'll take that concept with like a God of War style of, story. And then, so good concept, good story, good combat sequence. And we've just made a Triforce. So let's go ahead and just throw the theme Zelda out there. Meets the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Playing
Yeah,
Connect 4 with lightning.
So yeah, and I think that's the reason. One of the biggest things that people had is like everybody's idea of what the perfect game is different. I think the closest I've seen to the perfect game was Sleeping Dogs because I like the open world aspect and games. I liked it combined the gun mechanics of Max Payne, which I thought were really good, way better than what you can do in Grand Theft Auto. But it had the open world system and the missions and everything set up of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
and then it had. But normally when even if you play Grand Theft Auto or you play Max Payne, what happens when they get close quarters? You have no options. But if you play Assassin's Creed, you do have options.
Yeah.
Now, Assassin's Creed, you can do open world, you have the missions base, and you have all those melee options, but your range absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
So each of those things are lacking. The Sleeping Dogs had awesome melee combat and your martial arts and everything was good. The driving mechanics. They took people that worked on Need for Speed's engine and had them make their racing engine, so the driving was good. The gunplay mechanics were Max Payne style-esque. The Grand Theft Auto type of open world, huge expanse.
Obviously
intertwining these stories.
Obviously there was some kind of flaw with it. Otherwise, it would be considered the perfect game, and it wouldn't be $35 at GameStop right now.
Right, because not everybody gives a shit about Hong Kong triad type stuff for one.
Yeah.
And also
Maybe in a different setting, the game would have been a lot better. For me, the closest thing to a perfect game I've seen was actually the N64 version of Conker's Bad Fur Day. The storyline was off the wall. It was sick. It was
unique.
twisted. It was they stole from things like, hey, here's Dracula. Here's a war scene. Here's a giant mech robot. Here's a dung beetle. Here you're making cows drink prune juice and shit everywhere, and then you're killing them. And then you go off and you got, your Matrix scene. You have your Alien scene. You've got, like, so many different things just, like, clashing together, pounding, and the sequence on them.
Yeah, they do an homage to those things. And that's good. But people like to say that sucks, too, because they're like, oh, you're just stealing from all these other things, not making a thing for yourself. Star Wars, anyone? George Lucas literally made it just to make money, and he just pulled from everything else.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like looking at Conker's Bad Fur Day, yes, it took from things. But you know what? Obviously, it paid the fucking royalties or something because it didn't get sued. And I feel like it's the most underrated game of all time. When they did the Live and Reloaded version for Xbox, I was extremely disappointed.
See, I didn't even play that one, so I don't actually... I didn't bother with it. I was
the Live and
afraid for one.
Reloaded, the multiplayer was more of a Call of Duty style bullshit where you got the fucking character classes and you're just shooting each other. I'm like, all right, what is the point in this? No. Let's stop doing that. All right. So I stopped playing multiplayer. I had no fun in that whatsoever. There was no point in kamikazing in that when there was weapon classes and character. Like, I was like, no. This is stupid. The storyline was the same, but with the graphics that they did an overlay of like a 3D, like, 1990s like 3D goggles kind of, system. It's like, okay, so the regular graphics from the 64 are still back there, and you just added high definition like rain in front of it. It didn't blend. It wasn't smooth. It wasn't streamlined. They put no effort into it, and it sucked.
That's usually, people like try to... You have to find it. I feel like starting from scratch and doing something original would make what could be the perfect game. You have to take what's the best of things of everything and try to find a way. You have to start from scratch and find a way to make all those things work together. Not just take something that's already there and like, okay, it's missing this, so let's just take it and put it on there. You can't just tack it on. Anytime you want to make something that's truly great, you have to start but go back to the drawing board. That's one of the big things you have to do.
Oh, I forgot the Helsing scene that actually scared the crap out of me with the zombie Britney Spears and Michael Jackson's chasing you. Forgot about that scene. I don't know how I forgot about that. That gave me nightmares for weeks. I'm sorry, when you're in third grade, you probably shouldn't be playing a game like that, but whatever.
I don't know. See,
I think I was a little older than that, but still.
Yeah, I think that since there's so many different genres of games, there's a lot of things that could make up you can make a perfect game for the genre. That's attainable.
Yeah.
A perfect game in general is like, okay, well, what does everybody like the most? Because honestly, if you really think about what's like the best gaming genre of all time, I would probably say platformers, because that has stood the test of time.
Open world platformer fighter game with racing.
See, that sounds like it's gonna be called Fast and the Furious, and that's what we don't want. So
no, because you still have like abilities like Hadouken and shit. Like you can walk around like free, open world, but there are ways to get into another like map area as a platform, and there will be other people there, and it'll be online multiplayer interactive, and you can like get into a 3-dimensional fight with a random person. Fighter class style, pull out the guns, like Deadpool and, Marvel vs. Capcom, do that kind of thing. But then you can still have the racing aspect. So it would be a lot like Sleeping Dogs, but better.
Yeah. And they had a lot of those elements in. And of course, there's certain things they didn't do, like with melee combat. Hand-to-hand combat was phenomenal in that game. The best hand-to-hand combat I've ever seen is something where you're fighting multiple opponents. However, once you picked up a weapon, that weapon didn't really do much. It wasn't that... They kind of tacked that on, like, all right, you can use this particular weapon. They didn't make them individual. Like, if they had done what Assassin's Creed did with their weapons, that melee combat was phenomenal.
Because each weapon actually worked and functioned differently. Like, it's a...
Right.
I'm sorry, a crowbar and a hammer don't feel the same when you get hit with them.
Right. It's like, oh, I just have something now to beat with an extension of your arm. Like, no, I want an entirely different moveset with different kinds of counters so things don't get redundant.
Yeah,
now,
but doing that with like hundreds of weapons would kind of...
Well, you don't have, you maybe make like one unique one, like all swords have a certain set of types of their counters and moves, but then each individual one has its own one unique thing that comes out. That you can use. But the problem was like Assassin's Creed did that pretty well for the most part, but then when you got to hand-to-hand combat, you could disarm and that was about it. You didn't blend those together.
And sadly, we're out of time. I really wanted more time to talk about that, so we might even start off next week's episode with the continuance of the perfect game.
Yeah, you're watching Unlocked Radio here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. Next week we're going to be bringing you more news. Later on this month we'll actually be having a fellow Ohio cosplayer coming in. We've got a lot of good stuff in store for you guys. Anything else that you'd like us to bring up and talk about? Any game topics, genre topics, whatever? Send them in on our Facebook. And we'll see you next week.
Air quotes, bubbles.
Bubbles. Why do we say bubbles? Bubbles.